ReviewTyme is the home for all things theme parks. Stay up to date with our content by subscribing and turning on notifications.
Some may be surprised to know that as ReviewTyme has gotten bigger, our equipment has gotten smaller. Theme park trips are some of the most hectic holidays you can experience, and do you really want to be carrying around a 5-kilo camera in your backpack that when you get it out is going to bring a lot of unwanted attention? Space and size is everything when traveling, but a lot of people always assume that bigger is better, which isn't always the case. For travel, bigger means more problems, and with that in mind, we made sure that the entire ReviewTyme arsenal of gadgets can fit into a single backpack. But what is in that backpack? Why did we decide on this? And what recommendations do we have for filming on location in theme parks? For ReviewTyme, I'm Dominic, and this is the ReviewTyme arsenal of gadgets. I want to preface this by saying that nobody has sponsored this video, and all of this is designed to help you decide on what might be useful for you when you're next able to travel in the year of 2047. When we first started making videos, all we had were our phones and the Zhiyun Smooth Q, which is a gimbal which your phone goes onto, which we used extensively in videos such as our Tokyo Disney and Universal Japan reviews. This setup lasted us over a year and was perfectly reasonable until a competitor came along which changed everything for us. The Osmo Pocket is the reason why we're still sane when traveling. This tiny device is capable of smooth gimbal footage in full 4K at 60 FPS, which is amazing for creating the sort of shots that we need for ReviewTyme. Its small form factor means that we can carry it around in our pocket without it limiting ours or others' experiences. And when we see something that we want to film, we just pull it out and record. Unlike with our phone and the Smooth Q that needed to be set up every time we used it, which usually meant that we either missed something important or got taken out of the theme park experience because we were stuck behind a large, clunky device that grabbed everyone's attention. Though whilst this device is a blessing, we should also say that it's also a curse in some regards. As a standalone camera, the Osmo Pocket has a fair few shortcomings. The audio is rather poor, the autofocus is overzealous and sometimes non-existent, the display is in a square frame which makes lining up shots a mess, and it is non-intuitive in its touch controls, but for ReviewTyme, it is invaluable and it almost seems like it was made exactly for us. If you need a camera just for footage or shooting B-roll when traveling, this device is perfect. But for vlogging or recording the family holiday, it might not be the ideal choice. But, as we've mentioned, the Osmo Pocket can't do everything, and when it falls short, the Canon G7X Mark III steps in. This is the camera which many YouTubers use as their vlogging camera due to the unique articulated display on the back, but for us it works perfectly to getting close on the action, with its 4.2 times optical zoom and 4K capability, but this time only at 30 FPS. Its footage pairs well with the Osmo Pockets, and its slim design makes it easy to carry around, but why on earth does a device released in 2019 not have USB charging and instead you've got to remove the battery to charge it? Other than that, it works well to get those personal close-ups or handheld shots that you want when wandering around a theme park, and really just makes up for all of the shortcomings of the Osmo Pocket. The footage it records is crisp, the audio is decent enough for general use, and it has a nice look about the visuals, which doesn't scream handheld camera. Though for shots that need a little less zoom and a little more height, we've purchased a DJI Mavic Mini with the Fly More kit to get our aerial shots. Whilst it's not 4K capable and only films at 2.7K, the footage is still spectacular for what we need it for. At 249 grams in the slimmest form factor possible for a prosumer grade drone, you can take this with you anywhere without worrying about whether it's going to bog you down. It also features its own gimbal, which is pretty much just the head of an Osmo Pocket slapped onto the body, but it provides a stability that is necessary for something which somehow isn't blown out of the sky with any moderate gust of wind. As a travel drone, you can't really beat this. It's easy to use and fly around and has many of the features available in DJI's more expensive drones, except for perhaps guidance and collision assist. It provides that little bit of flair to your travel footage with a small amount of work, but if you dedicate the time to learn all of the hundreds of features, you can create some spectacular footage on the go. Even though the drone is usually on our person, we would never launch this drone from within a theme park, and we stick by the strict guidelines for aerial filming whenever we use the Mavic Mini. Before you even think about launching a drone and flying it around, it's important to understand the rules and laws associated with it, because the more that people mess this up, the more laws that will need to be introduced to protect people. That goes the same for when you're in a theme park filming or taking photos. Different parks have different guidelines about what is and isn't allowed, with an example being that Tokyo Disney Resort strictly enforces a no tripod rule. Many parks around the world also have strict rules regarding filming on attractions and rides, so be sure to check with staff about whether you're okay to take your camera on an attraction, and please don't just smuggle it on. There is a reason why many rides have these restrictions, and that's because on a coaster, your camera can quickly go from being a picture-taking machine to a painful blunt projectile. Also, there are about 6,000 POVs for every attraction in 4K, and they're usually perfectly fine with you using their footage with permission. A tip regarding recording is that whether it's the Mavic Mini, the Osmo Pocket, or the G7X, we always make sure to film in 60 FPS, even if it means lowering the resolution, because technically it gives you 2 opportunities for every shot. This is because we upload all our videos at 30 FPS, and sometimes the shot isn't great at normal speed, but when that speed is halved, it gives an elegant cinematic slow motion look to your existing footage. My final tip regarding all of this equipment is this: buy what you've proven you need. Purchasing new equipment and gadgets can be extremely exciting, but you likely have the best equipment to get started making videos right now in your pocket. Modern smartphones are some of the best cameras on the market, and if you want to get into taking footage or photographs in theme parks, I'd recommend just starting with that and working your way up to purchase items that can fill the voids of your current equipment. It doesn't make sense to just buy these gadgets just because we have it, because we've organized it to tailor our specific needs. And when it comes to size, bigger is okay, but is it suitable for travel and, more importantly, theme parks? Bigger cameras can be cumbersome and frustrating to lug around, and when you're also constantly getting off and on rides, running to meet reservations, and dashing through crowds, you can see why we've chosen to go smaller. There are plenty more capable devices out there on the market, but at the size and portability we're after, our gadgets are exactly what we need to get the job done. To visit any theme park, even those in Australia, we need to travel by air. And that means we will never be carrying around a fully rigged DSLR on a Steadicam to get our footage, because it's just not practical for us. And really, in a theme park environment, smaller is always going to be better. The other takeaway from this is that we don't get to spend that long in the theme parks. Sometimes we only get a single day to do our reviews, and that means we'd prefer to be out there experiencing it with our smaller devices than to be stuck behind complicated equipment that is going to impact our day. This is a different video to what we usually do, but we thought it'd be worthwhile to use the downtime to document a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes. If this interests you, please let us know, because we'd love to talk about everything that goes into making our videos, such as the entire creative process involved in turning an idea into a full production ready to be uploaded to the internet. But until then, from the home for all things theme parks, I'm Dominic from ReviewTyme. Thanks for watching.